Transportation, we used to fight. People used to want to pull us off the bus. I am Arthur Taylor, affectionately known as Tony Taylor. That's the name I went to school with. Anthony, the middle name. I'm a part of the Combined Disabilities Association, of which I am the chairman. I originated from Kingston. I was born right here in Kingston, and we call it West Kingston, in a place they call the Foreshore Road, or the old Foreshore Road. When I grew up, I heard that people used to call that area Shanty Town. So I don't know if you remember the song they sing about Shanty Town. So that was where I was born, moved to Trenchtown, and then moved into Tivoli, where I spent all my years there. As a child, I started out along with my sister, who was just a year younger than I. We went to a basic school, but by the time I get to age 5, it was recommended by doctors that I wouldn't be able to stay within the mainstream school and function effectively, as they noticed that my eyes weren't functioning as normal as others. So I was sent to the School for the Blind, the Salvation Army School for the Blind, as early as about 5.5 years old. That was about 1968. And I spent roughly about 13 years, graduated from the School for the Blind about 1981. And then that's when your quest for life started, when you start to wonder exactly what you're going to become, what you're going to become involved in, because you have to remember the society on a whole, the Jamaican society, wasn't that open to employment and other opportunities for persons with disabilities readily. It was slowly being impacted by some who have gone out and have gone to Teachers College who are blind, and those who have gone to the commercial schools where they learn telephone operating, those who have been in music, and those in art and the craft industry. That's pretty much what was happening. So it was almost a new thing to the society on a whole. So when you leave school now, you have to determine where you want to be, where you want to go, your area of interest in life. So that's 1981, I call it a transition or a crossroad for me. My challenge when I left school was to get financing. So when I went to student loan, that's in its early years of existence, coming from the inner city, it was difficult for my parents to find somebody to act as guarantor for you to get a loan. So that was a turn back for me, so I was reminded that we are poor people. So I went into theater because I was impressed with speech and drama, and I wanted to be involved in the serials on radio. I had oppositions there because everywhere you go, you have to be fighting your way through. And so I did that. I studied that, but I had difficulty getting into drama itself, into theater, into pantomime. I've been to a number of auditions, and they would admire and say, well done, well done, well done, you'll hear from them. I just wouldn't get the opportunity. Remember, it's a new thing now to see blind persons coming out into these fields. So I went into learning craft and did some craft with older persons, repairing chairs, those kind of caning and roping of chairs. I did that to put a little money in my pocket. And then a group of us, we come together, form a band, First it was a band called Splash that lasted for about 7 or 8 months. Then it ended up on the rocks because the manager decided to migrate. And then after that we we pull our resources together. We got funding from the Netherlands embassy and from the German embassy. And then we formed a band called Optic Revolution Band with blind persons and persons who were able to see. And we functioned for about 12 years, traveling the island, going on tours, and working along with numerous of our local artists. So we garnered all our experience there. And then after 12 years, people start to go into different direction. So that was when I decided, now I'm gonna use my skill of music to teach and to see how I can make a difference, slightly shift my focus. So I went back to Edda Manley while doing that, and I did music and get certified. And then I continued on that trajectory, and then I went to the University of the West Indies and the theological colleges where I studied theology, and that began to swing my life differently. For most of the Christians era, the ideal format for government has been seen as one with church and state united. This was another thing I said to my father before he died, because he died a year after I left school. He would worry about me, and I said, Daddy, don't worry about me. I've gone to school for 13 years, and I've left school with at least 9 subjects under my belt. So you're trained in mobility, and you're able to have the courage to move around. There are a lot of pitfalls, objects, because our terrain, our landscape, all sort of things you end up have to go through. And even doing all of that, you find out that persons become impatient with you. People don't understand you and can't see why is it that you should be out there. So you have to be, having your pushback and say, look man, we're human beings and we want to achieve much for ourselves. You realize your brothers and sisters, they're getting on with their life. So what about you? One of my first teaching job was at a prominent high school. I've thought, many of these guys I've thought now, they become leaders in banks and radio station and all those things when I started out. And when I met the principal, he found every excuse in the book to say I couldn't manage the boys. And when I said, I said to him, look, when we were growing up in school, we were told that as prefects, you are part of administration. I ended up having that job, So we have to be fighting at time, Transportation, we used to fight. People used to want to pull us off the bus. So we would always ready to jump on the bus and crowd the bus and say, touch us, because we will fight, So we were kind of the radicals at the time that helped to realize that if we just simply sit down, nothing will change. So we were kind of the ruffians. But so we have those kind of challenges that we had to push back and everything, and just say, boy, it's one of them things where we have to face. But we never give up. We never give up.